to One Tired Teacher, episode 199, Favorite Books to Tame the December Crazies. So today we're going to talk about, or I guess I'm going to talk about, because Lee is in the classroom. She is now teaching second grade. Isn't that unbelievable? And so it's so much harder for us to get together and figure out when we are going to be able to record. So you're stuck with me for the remainder of 2022, and we'll see what happens in 2023. But today I'm going to talk to you about some of my favorite Christmas books to use in the classroom so that we can keep the kids engaged and under control. Hope you stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Debery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Debery.
Hey, so, all right, let's get to it. We know it's the crazy time of year. We know that kids are excited and overly stimulated, I guess is the word. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's so much to deal with. Before we get started, I do want to tell you that I have a few things that might actually help you inside of your classroom for the next couple of weeks, especially when you are trying to kind of stay on that normal, regular, everyday schedule. First of all, I have a freebie. I have a freebie that goes with one of my favorite Christmas books, and I'm going to tell you what that is. That is Yes, Virginia. There is a Santa Claus by Chris Plale, and you can find that on my website at trinadeberyteachingandlearning.com/Yes, Virginia. So you can grab that. It'll also drop it in the show notes. It is a closer look at comprehension. There's questions and working through different things with the character. And I'm trying to think of what else is in that unit. There's a variety of activities to do for close reading and like taking a closer look at like deeply thinking about stories and text. So I think you will enjoy that as well. So that's free and you can grab it on my website. And also I have a really, really fun Holidays Matter activity. I think I talked about it for Thanksgiving, but I also have it for Christmas. And I actually made it for Christmas originally. I ended up making a Halloween version because I thought it would be really fun. But the Christmas version is so fun. My second graders loved this. They learn all about the states of matter and they look at how the properties of matter. They also look at how elements like heat and things can change the state of matter. So it's really, really fun. And one of my favorite activities in this, and you could do this without even grabbing this unit is, and actually I have a freebie for this too. And it's a reindeer matter investigation that you could use whether you had the whole unit or not. And I'll drop that in the show notes as well, because I can't think of what the name is. It's trinadeberyteachingandlearning.com/matter, maybe? I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to drop that one in the show notes. So it is a really fun investigation with let me tell you about the one investigation, and that is with stockings. So you take 3 stockings per team, it could be per partnership, but you can get these stockings at like the Dollar Tree. For like $1.25. So you're talking $3 a team. So like $15. And you have your stockings, and then you have 3 balloons, 1 balloon to go in each stocking, and they're going to be a different state of matter. So in the first balloon, you might have water, like for liquid. And in the second balloon, you might have a marble for a solid. And then the third balloon, you have a gas, you have air. So you have air inside of that balloon. And so then you have students make predictions of what they think is which state of matter is in the stocking. Like they're putting their hand down in the stocking and they're feeling the balloon and they're making predictions and they're writing that down. They're jotting that down. And then you're allowing them to, open it up and see what it is and write down their conclusion. And it is so fun. Kids get so super excited, especially over the gas one. For some reason, they're like, it's gas. And it's just so fun. So that's something to do for the holidays, but you're also teaching science standards. There's also lots of informational text in that unit, and it is hands-on and fun and a Christmas theme. So those are just a few things to help you get through these crazy times. Let's talk about some really great books to use in your classroom. And I recently just uploaded a new resource that is Christmas Makerspace Story Stations, and it takes every single one of these stories and you can do a read aloud with these stories, and then there's a challenge to go with the story, and kids get to think open-endedly and think critically and work collaboratively to come up with solutions to the challenge. So fun. I have Halloween and Makerspace and Thanksgiving and Makerspace Story Stations as well that you may have checked out. And I had such great feedback from teachers. And so I thought I better get some Christmas ones out there. And I had a lot of fun creating these Christmas story stations. So hopefully you grab these because they are really engaging as well. All right. So let's talk about some of the best holiday story. All right. So the first one that is really always a favorite is the Polar Express. I mean, I love that one. We used to do it every single year in my class. And then I actually do have a unit on the Polar Express, like a deeper thinking unit. We will work through some of those different standards. It was so fun. And then we would end up doing a compare and contrast with the movie, which I loved. And we would have hot chocolate and the kids would wear their pajamas to school. It was one of my favorite days of the year. But anyway, the Polar Express is a really fun one to use because it's such a beautiful story and the illustrations are so pretty. It's such a good one to work with illustrations. And I think it's really fun. So that is one of the books, and that is usually an easy one. There's also a challenge to go with that. If you are grabbing my Christmas Makerspace Story Stations, that is one of the books that I use. It's the Polar Express. And then my other very favorite holiday book or Christmas book to use in the classroom, which I told you at the beginning of the podcast was, and I have a free unit that you can download, TrinaDeveryTeachingandLearning.com/Yes Virginia. So Yes Virginia, There is a Santa Claus by Chris Plethel. And it is such a sweet story about a little girl who is really struggling with her belief for Santa. And so she writes the sun, because everything you see in the sun is true according to her dad, which is the newspaper. And this is based on a true story. So she writes the sun, and then the editor at the Sun ends up writing her back. It's a very magical, special book. There's a movie that was made about this as well. Actually, the movie came first, and then the book is based on the movie. But my brother actually helped produce the movie for Macy, and it was really like, because they did it around the Macy's Day Parade, like Macy, the department store. So it's really, really cool, and I love it. And also, I have a challenge for that one in my story stations. But always a fun one is Yes, Virginia. All of these have challenges. I'm not going to keep saying that. All of these have challenges. So all the 10 books that I'm going to share with you today, I chose all of them for my story station, Makerspace Story Station. So if you are interested, might want to grab that on TPT. But let's just focus on the books for now. So the next one is Bear's Christmas Star. And that is a cute little story about Bear and the importance of like tradition and things like that. And it's just a cute little story. It's funny because I'm looking at the cover of Bear's Christmas Star, and I'm looking at this tree, this very old fashioned tree with candles on it. And I remember, I was long, they didn't do this when I was little. This was a long, long, long time ago. But oh my goodness, how dangerous is that? Isn't that crazy? But anyway, Bear's Christmas Star, that's a fun one, especially for younger kids. I think that's really good. Another one of my favorites is Christmas Trolls by Jan Brett. I love Jan Brett. Jan Brett does a beautiful job of illustrating. She always has like a little story going on the illustrations in the borders, like on the bottom or the top or around the corners, which is a really cool way of focusing on illustrations, making meaning in the text, and having your students kind of make predictions in advance because they see the little story that's going on below. I love that. So it's a really powerful standard to focus on. And this is a super fun challenge, which this can actually be more of a STEM challenge because the challenge has to do with the trolls having to like get all of the things that they have stolen from Trevor, how they can get those up into their house. And this might be a great way to talk about simple machines. And it is, things like that, as far as like pulleys and levers and things like that, as far as like getting a heavier weight from one location to another when you yourself don't have that kind of strength. So because when we look at Mig and Tig, they're like little trolls. So it is such a cute story. It's really fun and so many great ideas to do with close reading and focusing on standards. And then that's a fun one to make a hands-on challenge. Another really fun Christmas story that I like to do is Santa's Stuck by Rhonda Growler Green. And that's so fun. That is a really fun challenge because what are we going to do when Santa gets stuck in the chimney? So that is a really fun to see what solutions kids come up with. Another one, Are You Grumpy Santa? That's super fun by Greg and Evan Spiridelis. I think that's how you say it. Now, these illustrations are a little interesting. I had students ask me once why Santa looks kind of yellow in the pictures. And I'm like, I wonder if he has jaundice. No, I didn't say that. I said, we kind of just, I don't know what I said. Like, I'm like, Santa can be all different colors. So I think that is a conversation that we ended up having, and that we don't have, sometimes the way we see Santa isn't the way that everyone sees Santa, and everyone with their different background can see, sees a different Santa. And do we know exactly what color skin he has? Not necessarily. Now, obviously, this can take you into a conversation that you may not have. So you might just want to say we're all different. And we also have different illustrators and just move on. But depending on where you are located and all the little repercussions that go with that. But I love Santa's Are You Grumpy Santa because he's got so many things that can make him grumpy, and it is quite hilarious. And I think it makes it fun to read to students, to have them think about different perspectives for sure, or different points of view. Hurry Santa is a cute one as well, because Santa is running late and they are wanting Santa to hurry, hurry, hurry. And again, that's such a fun one to think of a challenge for this. How are we going to get Santa to the sleigh and on his route as soon as possible? And the things that kids come up with to get Santa to hurry up are quite hilarious as well. Another one for Christmas is by Jan Brett, and it's called The Wild Christmas Reindeer. And these reindeer, they have like quite a struggle getting them ready to go. And it's Tika. Is it Tika? Yes, Tika is the main character, and Tika is trying to like groom the reindeers and get the reindeers prepared, and the reindeers are just off the chain, which might remind you a little bit of your students at this time. So this is a really fun one to use for, a makerspace extension, a challenge, because we've got a big problem in this story, and how are we going to solve it? That's the thing I love about challenges. It really focuses on that problem solution aspect, and also you can get kids to work through the engineering design process, and they're thinking, and they're being creative, and it's so important. All right, another one for Christmas, Santa's underwear, which can be quite hilarious. And watching students coming up with solutions to this is another really funny situation. So that's a really fun one, Santa's underwear, written by Marty Rhodes Figley. I will actually link to all these stories in the show notes as well. I'll link to them on Amazon. It will be an affiliate link, which means that like pennies on the dollar, I can earn pennies on the dollar, but it doesn't change the price for you. It just helps me a little bit, helps support the podcast. So thank you if you choose to buy them through those links. Another one of my very favorites, and this is actually the last one. I think this is number 10. I hope I did 10. I wasn't even counting. I'm pretty sure this is number 10. And this is my favorite. This is my all-time favorite. And it's The Night Before Christmas, which is a poem by Clement C. Moore. And the version that I have and that I link to in this, in the show notes, as well as in my Makerspace Challenge story stations, because I have like a choice board, a digital choice board, so the students can choose which challenge they wanted to do, and it takes them to a read aloud on YouTube. And I specifically found the version that I wanted because it has the most beautiful illustrations. This is another one where the illustrations can be so meaningful, and oh, they're beautiful. I read this story every single year to my children, and it's a really special tradition. And my children are 22 and 18, and yet this is still really important to them. Last year, I thought, okay, this is it. Like they're not going to want this anymore. And both of them were like, oh no, we have to do the night before Christmas. Like it's a necessity. So my daughter FaceTimed. My son still lives with me, so he was there. It was so special. And, we had a moment when I got divorced in 2014 when I didn't have the kids with me on Christmas Eve. This makes me so sad. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do about the story? What are we going to do about our tradition? And I did a little video for them, and they watched it together at their dad's, and they were so thankful. And then that was the only time that we weren't together on Christmas Eve. All the other times we were either together or we were on the phone together reading the story. So it's been a very special tradition in my house. And I always read it to my kids at school because I wanted them to share in this special tradition. And also sometimes our kids don't get traditions. They don't have traditions at home. And I like to be mindful of that because I know that can be hard sometimes, and like making something special with your students, gives them something that they can hold on to as well. All right. So those are the Christmas stories, and hopefully they will be so engaged with these beautiful stories and these fun stories that they will do a lot of good comprehension work for you. And I've also given you a chance to like make an extension so that they can really get their hands on activities and that they can enjoy. I've got something in my eye. They can enjoy themselves, and you can get through what you need to do and also not go crazy at this time of year. I know it can be a crazy time of year. So this one tired teacher is ready for a long winter's nap. I will see you next week for episode 200. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Thank you if you have been a special part of One Tired Teacher. I am very thankful for you. And before I sign off, I want to make sure that I give you the correct link to get to my 2 freebies. So it's TrinaDeberryTeachingandLearning.com/Yes Virginia. That's for my free Yes Virginia comprehension packet with lots of good activities for you to keep kids thinking and also engaged. And then I also have that holiday, that one little investigation from my Christmas Matter unit, which you can get the whole unit on TPT on my store, Trina Deberry Teaching and Learning. But you can grab that one little free investigation at TrinaDeberryTeachingandLearning.com/ Christmas matter. It actually has Christmas matter. So I just double checked before I was wrapping this up, and I wanted to make sure I gave you that right link, and also link to that in the show notes. Until next time, sweet dreams and sleep tight.